Not monogamous, so that doesn't count.
I don't know, sometimes you just can't sleep in the same bed with your spouse because you're struggling. Maybe she just needs a break, but he doesn't need to not be there.
Well, yeah, but you gotta stay and like fix it and figure it out.
You know, I don't want to be sexist here, but why does a guy have to sleep on the couch? Well, what's the point of staying the night there? I've got no place to shower. It's the walk of shame. I'm not going to do it.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Tuesday, August 30th. Can I just say a humongous thank you to everyone that gave videos yesterday a thumbs up and all the people that subscribed. It was super awesome to see a bunch of you in comments tell me that you had never taken the plunge and you made the decision to subscribe. And I definitely appreciate that. It's always great to see newbies on the chat, in the comments, all of it. So if you haven't taken the plunge, do me a favor today and make the decision to subscribe. I know you won't regret it. And make sure you give the video a thumbs up and share it and leave me some comments. Okay, today we're going to talk about a bunch of different topics. We're going to start off with sister wives, and then we've got some Duggar news, and there's also going to be weaving in some more discussions around the Southern Baptist Convention and everything that's happening there right now, because it's a mess right now. And it's a topic that I think is it's important for what we cover on this channel. It kind of blends right in. So today we're going to talk about, right now, a new teaser that was put out by TLC as it relates to Kody Brown and Christine.
Not monogamous, so that doesn't count.
I don't know, sometimes you just can't sleep in the same bed with your spouse because you're struggling. Maybe she just...
And this is a teaser that was placed on the Us Magazine's, Us Weekly's website. It's a sneak peek into the episode 1. I feel at this point we have a really good idea about what's happening. And this is actually a fight between Cody and Robyn Brown. They do fight, you guys. They fight. Now, hear me out on this before we dive into this topic. Robyn Brown almost seems to be a little bit annoyed that Cody doesn't want to stay overnight at Christine's house, and almost like she needs a break from him and she doesn't want him around as much. And almost like she doesn't want to be a monogamist because he's a lot to handle.
Maybe she just needs a break, but he doesn't need to not be there. I mean, in fact, it should be the other way around. He should be there, present.
So in the sneak peek, Cody is basically telling Robyn that he has been kicked out of the house, that Christine has packed up all of his boxes, and he doesn't really know what to make of the situation.
You know, I don't want to be sexist here, but why does a guy have to sleep on the couch?
Robyn tells Cody that obviously he needs to be there. He needs to work through things with her. He needs to talk to her. And that if he's not going to sleep over in the bedroom, he needs to sleep on the couch. Cody disagrees. Cody thinks that since Christine doesn't want him to be there anymore, that he shouldn't have to be there because he's not going to do, quote, the walk of shame.
I don't know.
I haven't talked to her.
Well, what's the point of staying the night there? I've got no place to shower. It's the walk of shame. I'm not going to do it.
The walk of shame, meaning that a married man sleeps on a couch. A walk of shame to me is kind of like when you've gone out the night before, you had a little bit too much to drink, you might have hooked up with that guy or girl at the bar that you might have not hooked up with if you were sober, and you're kind of like regretting that situation, like going a little bit too far, that kind of thing, but you're not like outright embarrassed. You're just sort of like, oh God, man. You know, that, not a walk of shame as it constitutes like a marriage. Again, this is like the second time he's referring to this like it's a casual encounter, like a walk of shame for sleeping on the couch. And he also mentioned how he's not going to fool around with a woman that might want to leave him.
Well, I'm not going
I
to...
wouldn't just assume that you can't stay, like that she's saying don't stay in the house. She might just be in a weird spot right now.
Well, maybe I can move back in. I have no idea.
Right.
Robyn is of the rational belief that if you've created a mess with your spouse, it's your job to fix it. And the only way that you can fix it is actually to go there and be with the wife to work through what the problems are. She even says that there's an unfairness in polygamy because when one wife is going through something with a husband, when he leaves their house, she's alone. But when he leaves, he's not alone because he has someone to go home to. So he has someone to go to talk to about the situation. She does not.
I feel like there's an unfairness in plural marriage where if a husband is having a problem with one wife, he's going to somebody else's house. That wife he's having a problem with is alone. She doesn't have somebody else.
Not. Now, we've also learned in this family that they can't keep secrets. So obviously, Christine shouldn't tell people what's going on because why? Because they're going to blab it to Cody. And the really startling part of all of this to me is that Cody's coming to Robyn to talk about a problem in his marriage with Christine when on the show they have spoken so many times about how they do not get involved in other people's relationships. Now, in fairness to Robyn, she is trying to get Cody to actually be rational and like try to work on things with Christine and sort of go to her and understand, like, are you okay? Robyn even says that, sometimes when a woman is going through it, they might just like kick you out on the couch, but they still want you there because then when she does sort of wake up in the morning, maybe she wants to talk to him, maybe she'll be more cooled off.
Even if you're not in her room, you stay in the house. You sleep on the couch. You get a cot. You have.
Cody disagrees and doesn't think he should have to do that because he said that he's gone over there in the past and basically he's seen the girls and then he leaves and everything's fine.
There was a couple times I just stayed until when she asked me not to stay in her room.
Cody,
And then the kids went to bed and she went to bed and I just left.
They completely have a complete different opinion about how they're going to handle the situation. And to me, I got the sense that Cody doesn't really want anyone's feedback. He's just going to do what he wants to do.
Plan on staying there, even if you're sleeping on the couch. Yes.
No, that does no.
Yes.
No. That doesn't work.
It does.
How does that work?
Because you're still in the house and she might come down and speak to you.
So Robyn's of the belief that she thinks that Christine might be trying to test him and that maybe she's boxed everything up in an event that like she wants to see if Cody's willing to go the extra mile with her and actually stick through the relationship. Cody completely disagrees and he said that he's not playing these games. He actually thinks it's a game when a woman kicks him out. He doesn't seem to take it seriously. And the shocking part in all of this to me is that he flat out admits that he has been kicked out of the bedroom out of every single wife's bed. He admitted that Robyn has kicked him out of her house.
Like, listen, I hate the idea because first of all, it gives Christine power over where I sleep. I've done this, like, Janelle's tried kicking me out, and Robyn's tried kicking me out. Like, Mary did it all the time. That's a game. I don't want to play that game. I'm not going to play that game.
I would not. That's your home, Cody.
That Janelle has kicked him out of his house and her bed. That Mary has done it a lot. Mary and Cody don't even share a bed anymore, so we know that there's no bed sharing happening, and we know that he doesn't stay there anymore, so that's like a long gone thing. But he calls it a game that these women play. Like they're doing it to just sort of like get to him and get like attention. Not understanding the severity of the situation. Cody seems to want to do as little effort as possible to actually make a situation work because he doesn't have to try if one relationship's working. In Robyn's situation, one, I'm shocked that she wants him to work on this, but another part of me is like, well, she wants to go to the celestial kingdom, and if Christine leaves, that means part of their income stream is gone, and if they leave, then they lose a wife, meaning they have less women that are in like the celestial kingdom, and maybe she does want to be not a monogamist and doesn't want Cody around all the time. But the amount that she's fighting him to actually do the right thing and to do the work is actually shocking to me because she seems to want to have Christine's back, not really knowing that Christine's done at this point. So Robyn thinks that they have something to work through. And by the way, Cody hasn't even had a conversation with her about what this means yet. All he did was he went and saw the boxes and he hasn't talked to her yet about what it means. He doesn't know that she wants him to move out. He doesn't know anything. He's like, well, I'll just go talk to her and see what she wants. So he goes and sees the boxes. He doesn't talk to Christine. He runs over to his favorites, Robyn, who actually disagrees with him, and then he argues with her about how he's handling it because he thinks it's a petty game that these women play. I think Cody has thought that he could just do whatever he wanted for the longest time and not have any consequences, because in his patriarchal, narcissistic world, a woman just has to sort of keep sweet, pray, obey, do what he wants. And as long as they're in good standing with him and doing what he needs and wants, he doesn't have to put in the work or the effort, because he doesn't have to try if there's another woman that will. There's no equilibrium in these relationships. There's no equality. It's always Cody can do whatever he wants, and the girls have to suck it, or the women have to suck it up and do whatever they have to do to keep him there. Now, a lot of people say that Robyn and Cody are soulmates, and maybe they are, but I disagree. I actually disagree on this, because he said the same thing about Mary. I think that Robyn is the shiny new, like, piece of meat. She's the fresh meat. She's the new wife. If Robyn were to be replaced, she would go through what all these other wives have gone through. Every time a new wife comes into this situation, they go through this pecking order. And if he were to bring in a younger wife that can bear children and actually give him more of what he needs, Robyn will experience the disenchantment, the disconnect, the being put out to pasture. I mean, she's 43, I'm 43, so I'm not trying to shame her age, but she's at a place where she's probably making decisions on if she wants to have any more children, and given her age, is likely not going to have any more children, okay? Doesn't mean she couldn't, it's just likely that she won't. And he needs babies to breed, although he keeps saying he's done, okay? But Cody is like the kind of guy that I feel like would need 1 million kids to validate who he is. And he has all these older kids that don't like him, so he'd probably try to find a new wife that he can bring more kids into. Long story short, Cody and Robyn have a fight about Christine, which, one, doesn't sit well with me because he's running to Robyn instead of talking to Christine. And then 2, he thinks it's a game. And he never expected her to leave. And 3, Robyn tried to kick him out of the house and doesn't want to sleep with him sometimes. And I don't think Robyn wanted Christine to leave, not because she liked Christine, but because of her own selfish reasons of not wanting to have Cody with her all the time. I don't think Robyn wants to be a monogamist. I don't think she wants Cody all the time. I think he overwhelms her. Could you blame her? That's just my opinion. So what are your thoughts about this new teaser? Are you on Team Robyn or Team Cody? I'm still on Team Christine. Tell me your comments below. Bye, guys.